All right, all right. Ain't nothing like being live at 5. Baby, we are here to talk about the Diddy verdict per the people. And listen here, I know y'all did not invite me to dinner, but unlock them doors. It's 5 o'clock. Y'all get y'all snacks because Shop Talk is coming in. Okay, let's get this started. So, we have those who feel a certain type of way about the Diddy verdict. And of course, I'm not going to be by myself talking about it, even though I be having my own thoughts and I got them and you know I'm going to share them. But we going to bring in your girl, Nick the Voice, and we going to chop it up. What's up? Happy dinner time.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody, or good evening, rather.
Okay. What you have for dinner? Did you eat yet?
I got my taco salad right here in front of me.
Okay. Got your stuff ready. So we just
Yes.
gonna chill, relax like we normally do. Y'all know it's okay to be you, and we gonna get started on what we talking about.
Exactly.
And that is this verdict. Let me get the number out. 619-902-2287. 619-902-2287. Get it down. Send your texts. Get ready because I know you guys are going to call in. Some of y'all going to be feeling some type of way about me, and I know you are. Some of y'all might feel some type of way about Nick, and I know you are. And we all got the right to our opinion.
Exactly.
So we going to call this, let's call this the jury box, even though it's over. The JURY box. I should have been doing something like that, okay?
Right.
The jury
That's
box.
all right. That's all right. We got it.
Yeah, get some people on, chop it up. I'm getting ready to set this up. I'm doing it for social media, but I'm thinking I want to let the podcasters in on it. So let me set this up so we don't leave nobody out, okay?
Yeah, because we want to hear all their opinions.
Everybody's opinion. So get the number 619-902-2287. I'm going to watch y'all with these comments. I'll listen to you. You know I will. And so we got that 619-902-2287. Send a text, call in live. Let me know how you feel. Let's get that started. How do you feel about the verdict?
I mean, you can't be mad at him. You a freak, but yeah, I mean, I can't be mad because the only thing he did wrong was transporting these women over there. They were willing participants, so it can't be sex trafficking, of course. And he was acquitted of that. But you just nasty, man. You did too much. What happened to the NDAs?
Let's start here. Let's rewind it a little bit. So the main ones we heard all the charges. If you didn't catch up, because it's everywhere. Racketeering, that RICO charge was crazy for me off top.
Yeah.
Because I said, listen. RICO, one person. So they said, okay, boom. The sex trafficking. Is it really sex trafficking?
No.
Oh, now those two were life in prison pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the other part, as far as like, here we go. I'm going to put it in my terms. Traveling with your girl. See, this is making it out for dudes to be winning right now. Traveling with your girls. If you fly your girl out and you have sex with her and take her shopping, you could be in jail?
Yeah, that to me, that one is kind of crazy. I mean,
that's what so,
like, yeah, that's kind of crazy. But I mean, like, if you're willingly, and these girls are saying, well, the one was saying, yeah, he took us out to have sex parties with whoever, then I can kind of see why they're saying prostitution, taking it. But the other chick was like, no, this was my man. He was taking me shopping. So, like, I'm on the fence with that one. I really am. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm on the fence with that one. Because one is saying that, these were set up arrangements, and the other one was like, we went shopping. That wasn't my man. So,
well, that's 10 years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like 10 years.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
So do you think guys are going to be just like, oh, okay, well, hey, babe, I can't take you shopping. Or do you
Right,
kick them like, oh, guess what? We can't have sex while we in another state right now.
exactly. That's just ruining because I want to go out of town with my situationship and do this like
Have a good
now you're intervening.
But watch this. It's cool if you go out of town with your situationship and enjoy yourself that way, but he can't buy you anything.
Bullshit. Ooh, I'm sorry.
See, they're going to get me off of YouTube.
I saw you. Bull crap.
Yeah, there you go. So what are we saying here?
Right. It's like now it's sending the wrong thing because, a chick can go out of town with a man and then get mad when they get back home and be like, yeah, he took me out of town and had sex with me. And that's the whole point of going out of town on a trip.
I thought that was the perks of being in a relationship.
Exactly.
So
a relationship, situationship, whatever you want to call it.
Now listen, so are we saying that when you are dating someone, regardless, well, let me say this, with money, you're a lady of the night? Are you considered a lady of the night now?
Yeah, they sending that message too, like
right. Or is it if you date a broke dude, you cool? What are we doing?
Listen, Kathy, you done messed it up for everybody because your dumb behind decided to stay and take the abuse and everything else. Because guess what? Oh, this is what I got to do to make it to the top. Peace. I guess I'll just be a broke chick, or I'm gonna go through somebody else. Now you're messing it up for all of us, girl. Why?
Nate said, yes, no shopping for the ladies anymore.
You got me messed up.
Now get
almost
this.
It made me cuss.
Now they kept going on and on about the freak offs and the details of what he enjoys. I'm just gonna say that, okay? They kept going over that. They talked about the domestic abuse. That's not what he was charged for. So I don't understand why. Well, you know what? I guess I do understand it because they wanted everybody, the public, us, to find him guilty of that.
Off of that.
That we will find him guilty across the board. Now, there's a lot of people who are upset that he's only been charged with the transporting women for prostitution is what they're saying.
So in other words, because he a freak. But my thing is, sometimes we got to be smarter.
Yeah, and I want to hear you, but watch this. Guilty of transporting women for prostitution. The one person you were in a relationship with for 10 years. The other woman you were in a relationship with was over 4 to 5 years. So these aren't just random women. These are his women.
Yeah. I mean, because if he was taking care of them at home, of course he's going to take care of them out of town.
Oh, okay. And Nate, I should put Nate in here because he keeps
bring him on, bring him on.
Bring him on in. So lady of the night equals broke dude, gold digger plus rich dude. Yeah, the lady of the night, they called it. Let me find out prostitutes is winning. I said that a long time ago, remember?
Yeah.
And here's what's interesting. If you're going to use transporting women for prostitution, so that's the only thing they could get because she was having sex with these guys.
Right.
Or if she was having sex with these guys, she called these guys, she paid these guys, but the one he used a charge card on. So that's probably where they're looking at that you paid.
Where they're, yeah, exactly.
He didn't participate. So prostitution.
I guess that's where prostitution comes in because now it looks like you're my pimp, which basically
she signed up for, okay? But
yeah.
So I think she got 2 pimps.
Yeah, her husband and Diddy.
And the reason I said that is because you got Diddy, okay, he pimping you on this way, but your husband is the one that told you to sue for, money. So she got 30,000. They said she got 20 and then the 10. But let me let you guys know this. The She didn't sue him personally. She sued his company.
Okay.
So people will know. So it didn't just like come out, boom, out of his pocket. It came from the company, and they have those funds. But I'm thinking that Mr. Fine, her husband, he pimped her because remember, she was in a relationship with him and went back to Diddy, according to the documents.
Ooh.
The transcripts. The ones that they actually let out. I guess someone was way too explicit. So now you go back and get him, and that's probably how he got off. Like, no, it's not trafficking, because she was going back and she was texting him.
Exactly.
So her husband is like, oh, okay, well, it's cool. You go ahead and sleep with him. We about to be millionaires. So you got two pimps, from one type of pimp to another type of pimp.
I guess as long as her career was doing good, she wasn't worried about it.
Girl, that career was doing good.
Well, as long as she was doing a little something, she wasn't worried about it. But as soon as she started flopping real bad, yeah, that's when everything she decided to. But yeah, it seems like that husband pimped her out too.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Now I see some people said that I didn't see that he got charged for the women, but the men. Well, it actually says transporting women for prostitution, meaning they went out of town for these freak offs.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know the freak offs was criminal.
Right.
Did you know that?
I didn't either, but you know what? My thing is, whatever happened to the NDAs? You ain't have nobody sign an NDA, and if they did, I guess it didn't. But it don't matter.
Clearly, the NDA I think helped him, and the reason I say that is because they're in a relationship. Do you really do that if you're really in a relationship? Now watch this.
Nowadays they call it poly.
Right. Now you got some people who say that the men is who he was, that was flying across, which is true. And they charging there. And I think it was that one, I don't know if it was an express card or it was one of those credit cards that the person was paid for. But she was the one that did it. Now, wouldn't this be a spin? She got that 30 million. Everybody know. She's the one that picked up the phone and called them. Why aren't they suing her?
Exactly.
And wouldn't that be a spin if they decide to go and sue her civilly? Because see, that's what hers was, a civil case, not the feds. Hers was a civil. If they go and sue her, what do you think? All right, I see someone said Cassie is young and easily influenced. Here's what's interesting with that. When Diddy met her, she was dating an old man.
Exactly. So I guess easily influenced.
That girl was just doing her thing. And I ain't trying to be funny, but I know we all got a whole lot of family. And I'm going to say that all encompassing. Family or friends who were 19 and 20 and throwing it, baby. In college, what? Quit playing. 19 and 20, that was the whole freak off. Let me try them all and see which one I like that I want to marry later on.
Exactly.
It was a lot of that going on. Now, in our area, we had the top shelf. People was knocking boots all the time. H-Town came out with knocking boots. Everybody was knocking boots.
Everybody was doing it. Listen.
So, I can't really say that at that age. Now, if you are like 14, 13, hey, I know a few of them too. But that's very different. But this girl, or 18, says you an adult. And boy, them people was throwing it back. Here you go, here you go. Because that there abortion clinic up there on Market Street.
Oh, yeah. That thing stayed packed with people.
That place was packed.
Because I went there with a couple people for moral support. Was like, what? Hey, how you doing? I ain't seen you in a minute. Listen, like, your secret is safe with me, baby.
It be safe for me, and I'm across the street holding the signs. I'm holding the signs with the people. Yep. Like what? Hey, to each his own. But it was a lot. If you think back, rewind it, and think back at that age and what your friends were doing, or you, whoever, and say, oh, you know what? You might be on to something. Hey, if you want in on this conversation, feel free to do so. The number is 619-902-2287. That's 619-902-2287. And I'm going to put that up there for the lovely people because we'll get to talking. So if they decide to sue her, these workers that got paid, that she called. Oh, and that was another thing. Diddy wasn't even in town. He doing his own thing. She was calling back the workers when he wasn't even there.
Oh, see, yeah. Okay.
And that's
So he had a pretty strong defense then.
and that's why the jury wanted the transcripts before they came up with their decision. Like before they actually came out, they asked for the transcript. So somebody had to be like swayed, like, look at this. And it's like, okay, look at this. And isn't it interesting how how you have the woman, and I hear this often, and yes, corrections nurse, I was 17 years. So you hear both sides of it, but they keep saying victims. Those women are no longer victims. He was not found guilty.
Exactly.
He's the victim.
If
But
they
they're not
were
gonna look
willing participants, then they are not a victim. They were willing.
and see what they're trying to say now is that there's a lot of women that are going to be victims and are going to be afraid to come up and speak out because of this situation, and this is what happens. Why do we automatically feel like if a woman says this happened, that she's automatically the victim? And that could be, I'm just random, just speaking in general, that could be your son, your cousin, your brother, and somebody can railroad them for the sake of funds,
Right.
just for money. Like, oh, I can do this. And there's chicks out there to be lying. How is Maury surviving? How did Maury survive so long? Whole bunch of chicks lying, talk about you are the father,
Exactly.
and they are not the father. It's only been
Yeah.
you. So it's kind of,
It's like one of them quick come ups nowadays. More people are getting sued, and like, I mean, and it does kind of, and the women are making it hard for the women who were actually raped and actually sex trafficked and everything else. They're making it hard for them. So I can see where they're coming about, well, now it's going to make it hard for women to come. I could see them why they're saying it, but it's not because of the men. It's because of the women who are lying and
that
saying
right.
that they
Instead
were
of saying,
victims, and no, you wasn't, because you was a
right,
willing participant, baby.
justice was served, and he asked for 12 jurors, jury of his peers, and that's the answer. Here's what's sad. What's sad is that they keep saying the victims, and they still have him guilty. That's because, to me, they had him guilty off top. You know how they say innocent until proven guilty? He was
Right.
guilty until proven innocent, and now he's proven innocent, and you're like, no, he's guilty. Even though you could be guilty, and I think that's where it's at. We saw him beat the brakes off of her.
He was wrong for that.
Wait, watch this though. Do you remember when I looked at that video? Because y'all know I be all in. I said she took something and ran, and he. Well, y'all read those documents because I'm sure they're going to release them. It was his phone. Now I ain't trying to bring Chris Brown in it, or your cousin, or nobody else out in the neighborhood. But if you take a brother's phone, he was getting. Now this is alleged. Let me put this here. This is alleged because I was hearing bits and pieces, so I can't wait to get all of it, and then I can actually read through it if they allow it. He was in the shower, realized his phone wasn't. He ain't bring his phone in, and ran out the shower, and that's what he was pulling. I said she got something in there because you can see him pulling something. I mean, I ain't saying he got to beat her up.
Nah,
baby,
he went.
I know the knockdown drag out for the cell phone. You mess around and get hit with an iron, okay? No,
I've had a few of those. Like, man, give me a phone.
Nobody with no iron. But look at what happened with Chris Brown and Rihanna. The phones. People serious about their phones, especially fellas.
Because they sneaky.
Now
they ain't got no business.
You silly. But they also said that, okay, she took, you see, we saw it, Wincy. We saw it was something because she took off, and the way he was running, he just grabbed some clothes, and they tried to say that it was a freak off. And she said, no, that wasn't a freak off during that time. Yeah, it wasn't. But they also said that she hit him back. Like, that's what they would do. They was throwing stuff at each other. And that was like their relationship.
And I can believe that. I can't. I don't see her just letting him beat her down and not doing nothing about it. Because after a while, nah, bro.
Sometimes, but there was some issues where they said with Kim, and then Kim stabbed him in his artery, and that's why he was all right. I said, oh, these people, they got some type of love-hate relationship.
Right. I got to do all that. Bye. I ain't trying to fight every day to prove my love to nobody.
Like proving your love.
Right. No, we're not doing that.
What about the fact that most of these people that have a problem with Diddy and got the issue like, oh, well, he did this to her and he done blew up Kid Cudi's car and all this other stuff. They're trying to get all of these things where they don't have actual concrete proof because it is without a reasonable doubt.
Right.
And they got him guilty off top. What about the fact that those people that said he didn't get off and he don't need bail and blah, 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 blah? Why your little cousin and brother out here that killed the whole block, the other side of town, the grandparents?
And it's free Ray Ray.
And yes, you got a shirt talking about free Ray Ray.
And he didn't actually kill somebody and guilty.
Right. And you talk about free my child. Huh? No, keep them locked up. Like, you know what I'm saying? But you want this man locked up. Granted, I see all those different things that go on. I do. And they blaming him for. Is he guilty? Well, that's why I got this little segment, our little dinner chatting at the dinner table.
Okay.
Diddy's verdict per the public. We already got this dude guilty because of something that we think we know, but don't really know. Now, I do want to dig a little deeper. Remember all the celebrities? They all got quiet.
They got quiet as I don't know what.
And some of them bishops, I ain't saying no name, just sat down. They was like, oh, I'm sick. I'm going to sit down right now because they ain't know what was going to happen. Then they realized they was covered. Now they want to come out and speak. Ninja, I ain't heard from Oprah. I ain't heard from you in how long?
Thank you.
TD Jakes, I was wondering what happened to you.
Yeah, when he got named at first, he got real quiet. Have you ever been swallowed? Super
quiet. I'm gonna let my daughter go ahead and handle this. I'm gonna go to the comment because he hit her, and the first thing he grabbed when she was on the ground
was her purse. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So she might have had,
that phone.
Might have had something else in there. Might have been more than that phone, though, for real.
Listen here, I think all the other stuff because he was paying everybody. Oh, that's obsolete. Let me see what you got. I thought maybe it was some videotapes. That's what I was thinking.
My thing is, though,
let me read this.
I don't understand.
Wait a minute. Hollywood rich people problems. Bill said he got all the tapes and they didn't locate any of them. Where is the tapes? Where is the tapes?
Right.
Well, Diddy, he denied all those allegations, and it's sad that that's their defense. But if you notice, we always like the underdog. So now you got the government. Remember, I was saying it was the government, not Cassie against him. It was the government against Diddy. And it's like, yay, we beat the government. Like Yo Gotti did.
My thing is,
it's a big win for the for Puffy, Sean Puffy Combs, whatever.
My thing is, they was digging deep trying to get him for everything, but what about Hugh Hefner? And what these other folks need to realize is Diddy should have realized, baby, you tried to be Hugh Hefner, but you see how that went for you. Sit your tail down somewhere now, please, and thank you.
That is right. He did tell his son on the phone, get rid of all the pizza boxes. They don't want no rats in there.
Probably, listen, the pizza boxes probably hold the key to everything.
Right.
Ain't no telling where they at.
That part.
He might have flew out of town with all that stuff and put it somewhere else because didn't he go overseas for a minute?
That's what they were thinking, that he was just going to just leave. But he didn't.
Right.
He didn't leave. He was like, here's my passport. I'm not going to go. What we doing?
Right.
And it is given the generation, what was it, 1995, the O.J. Simpson trial. It's given that.
Mm-hmm.
However, comma, in my mind, I thought OJ, I thought he knew something about it. That was my thing. I thought he knew something about it. And I'm like, okay. And I'm wondering if this is going to turn out like that. Remember, they couldn't get him guilty on that, but all this other stuff they kept bothering him, getting him on.
Mm-hmm.
See the black community saying OJ did it.
I'm still on the fence with that one, for real.
Are you okay? All right. There we go. Yeah, it was get rid of them videos. I wonder where them videos are. Who still got a VHS? Who got
Right.
a VCR? The VCR. That was it. The VCR. I'm talking about VSR.
I
Somebody
finally
got
got rid of mine
did you?
before I moved. Yeah, I was like, I don't need that thing. But yeah, maybe I should have kept it.
Maybe you should have kept that mug. Should have kept it.
Exactly.
I do feel like it was good. It was like a railroad type thing. And it's like they railroad them, and this is what it's going to be. So I was happy that the jury actually found him not guilty, because it got to be without a reasonable doubt. That's it.
Right.
And people are upset. And people are upset at the jurors of this Diddy trial. They feel like, oh, they didn't see that. Just because a female say that somebody did something does not mean that she did it. And the reason I made that statement at the beginning, before I came and infiltrated your dinner, that I was a corrections nurse, is because I see it so often. A female is upset that you'd have moved on, and she's
Yep.
going to make up
And
some.
voila.
One lady, I'll never forget, one lady told her daughter to write in her diary that some man touched her. Come to find out, the young lady years later just said, that's not true. My mother was upset with him, and that's what she said. So he was with me for a minute. You know what I mean? And it was,
That happens a lot.
and he kept saying, I did not do that, or he hit me. And it's a lot of guys that are incarcerated. And then I think when they find out that the female lied, she need to do some time.
Exactly. And they usually don't. They usually don't, do they?
No, it's just like, oh, sorry, okay, we're going to release you today. Meanwhile, I lost, a year or 2 to 3 of my life waiting on the trial, depending on that. It's like, come on. And then you just say, oh, my fault.
Right. My bad.
Right. And some people it has happened to, but it is just like you said, Nick, these women that are lying are making it bad for victims, true victims. But them calling them a victim today after he was found innocent. So you still have, they're still calling the women victims, and you calling him the perpetrator, and he was found innocent on that. He wasn't guilty. Well, let me say he was found not guilty on those charges.
Right.
So give me a break. But the prostitution.
And my thing is, you were fine with it while it was going on. Like, not all of a sudden.
The one, Jane Doe, he was still paying her rent for some $10,000. Her mortgage her apartment or rent was $10,000 a month. And then one of them, I can't remember which one, so don't quote me on that. One of them, they got fired or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
She was on the stand. I think this was the Jane Doe, but she wanted to come back to work. So what are we saying?
Right. What right there, apparently.
People
like taking butt whoopings and whatever else. You like it, I love it. But
and that's par for the course with being a lady of the night, because I remember seeing them, because it was in my eyesight, from where we lived. You could see it. And guess what? That was part of it. They ain't had that man's money. Boom. But here's the difference with the prostitution. They didn't have his money. In this case, the dude is getting paid. Nobody, what was he getting? Was Cassie giving him money? She was giving him a show, live porn.
Right, basically.
And is that a crime?
No, it ain't a crime to be a freak as long as you keep it in your own bedroom. The problem is everybody start running their mouth.
But watch this. It don't be in their own bedroom because they be having parties. But this is what's interesting. They call them freak offs or hotel nights. They changed the name. They call them swinger parties.
Exactly. And they got swingers clubs.
And what's wrong with that?
Apparently nothing, because the swingers clubs are private clubs, and it be politicians, and yeah, I'm telling politicians, physicians, attorneys, and everything else that be going to these swinger clubs. So basically, they doing the same doggone thing.
It is. It is. They're just
Mhm.
not being caught. Not like this. You have to send. You have to listen. You do. The women. That's why. Listen. Those women have been getting men from the beginning of times. Might I remind you of Samson and Delilah, Adam and Eve? I mean,
Okay.
the beginning of time. I told you I gave you specific instructions, and you didn't listen to her, and then bam, look what happened. What we gonna do?
Right.
Your strength is in your hair. Your strength is in your hair. I'm telling you where it's at. I guess she was like, boo, I think you would look good with a nice fade. You might as well go ahead and cut that up. And then look, boom.
And then he lost his strength. Exactly. But
And
it's
that's
funny. It's
wild.
funny that you like you said, swingers clubs, and we got the freak offs for the
Freak off.
hotel parties, swingers clubs, and again with Hugh Hefner, Playboy Mansion.
And he said exactly what it was. The boys get to play. He said exactly what it was. And the interesting thing is,
Exactly.
they were willing participants, just as here. But what's
Yep.
happening?
Same thing here. They were willing participants.
I don't know. It's just really interesting. I was like, what we gonna do? Now, this is what's sad. What's sad to me is the mere fact that the judge denied bail because the prosecutors felt like he's a danger.
A danger to
Wow.
who?
The reason that he couldn't get bail before is because they felt that he's a risk, a danger, because they had the RICO charge and the trafficking and all that. Well, he's not guilty. He's found not guilty on that. What's the issue now? And he's not leaving. I'm going to
Exactly. He
relinquish
surrendered everything.
my passport. So I'm not going to go anywhere, but I can't even go home. I'm not going to do no prostitution, like flying people over. I just want to go home.
I
And
mean, was it some threats that was going on during this whole process that they were afraid of? Well, you did have some people at the beginning saying that they got threatened, didn't they?
No, they didn't get threatened. His people reached out to them and they didn't call back. So that was the thing. So I wouldn't say threatened because we don't know the end result, but people reached out probably for them to testify. Okay. DC said, let me post this for the people on the YouTube. So they, the people on the replay gang, the people that decide to go back and look at it. Interesting. Isn't that something? Now with Tyler Perry. I know, Monique probably like, I told y'all about him.
She already started. She didn't already started.
Did she? That's hysterical.
Yes,
well,
my sister already started.
I do want to let people know Diddy's attorney wants the public to accept the call when you're called for jury duty. Okay? So he wants you to accept the call because that's exactly what did it. The jury. And I think more people need to. You just go get your little, what is it, like $17 or something today?
And my thing is, I was surprised because, well, actually, I wasn't surprised because it was a jury of 8 men and 4 women.
Okay.
8 men and 4 women. So not guilty, guilty. So yeah.
But you know what? The way that it was split. How about
that? Yeah,
they
did say it was split. They did say it was split.
So it wasn't just like men. I'm telling you, men got it hard. Funky Dineva said that. He was like, I wouldn't be a straight man for nothing because you got that and you being a provider, you're already stressed out. And if somebody decide they're upset with you or you'd have moved on and want somebody else, they could just make up a lie and automatically the woman is the victim. As Nate always says that. He was like, yeah, they're going to tell their story and you're going to believe theirs over ours because we're the strong guy. We're supposed to always take it. Just like with some of the R cases. When people are being taken. Men are being taken as well, and people don't understand that. They're like, well, you gotta get up. certain things can be done to the body to allow it to get up where you don't want it to work. Real talk. Okay. Just wanted to put that out there. I see the fellas out there. Now, in the words of Armand Wiggins, my guy, I would be wearing a shirt, talk about more oil. More oil, more oil, more oil. I lied. Back in school, if I was still in school, I am that person. I would always get called to the office. I would have had a shirt on that said more oil.
Oh, you know what?
After they read the verdict, people were outside the courts. Did you see it? Squirting baby oil.
Baby oil, yes.
This baby oil, Johnson & Johnson's baby oil stock did go up. How about that?
I said now, that was the ultimate petty.
That is super petty. And some people had, a freak off ain't criminal. A freak off ain't a crime. That's what it said.
Right.
Ain't a crime.
I saw that too. And you see Curtis Jackson is cutting up again. He being petty.
But he said the same thing that I pretty much said. That's what happened with Yo Gotti. Like, you beat the feds. And that's something major. Now, everybody's perception or how they feel. Let me see. Hey, you're live with Shop Talk. Hello? Yeah, you want to talk about Diddy case? No, thank you. All right. Thanks for calling. No, they done called and did change their mind, I guess.
Alrighty then.
They probably like, oh, look, I want to call. Let's see. Is this really working? Is this line really working? Remember how we used to call the radio station back in the day?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got through. Can you play? Same thing. Oh my God, I got through. You'd be like, listen, request? Okay. What are we doing? I'm glad he got off, but I feel like everybody's opinion of how they think or are expressing how he's going to be is making other people feel some type of way. And that is us saying, hey, this is what he's going to feel like he's the man. He's going to feel like, I don't think that. I think it's a wake-up call.
I think this was a big wake-up call for him and knocked him down a couple pegs for real.
That's what they wanted to do. That's what they wanted to do. And
because my thing is,
remember what he was doing? He actually said he wasn't feeling Trump. Mm-hmm. And then he wanted to let the people know what was going on and to start our own. And then all of a sudden this happened. Same thing when Tyler Perry said on the BET Awards how he made so many people billionaires. And all of a sudden this white dude that he worked with all this time is now coming out saying what happened. As far as like air quotes for the listening audience, the casting couch.
Right.
Now, when did this occur? And then he's released those texts. And when he released those texts, they sound like texts were missing. It seemed really weird. I was like, this is off.
Yeah, it's not. Everything's not there.
It didn't seem like anything. Mm-hmm. So just as we talked about in the workplace and being careful, being the opposite sex, or if you like men, being careful in the workplace because they can deem that as sexual harassment. Mm-hmm. And it's foul. Just like with Stephen A. Remember he was getting that job on ESPN? Mm-hmm. And boom, making big bucks. And all of a sudden, here comes some chick that he was banging long time ago, skinny mini. And then all of a sudden, hey, we're going to pay you this amount. So ain't no real love with that. None.
Listen, Club Shay Shay.
Listen, Monique tried to tell him too, but guess what? What did Cat Williams say on Club Shay Shay? The white people will have you broken a weekend. A weekend. That white girl, I'm telling you, you got to watch and say, what's the bigger picture here? What are we actually saying? Because it seems like when Tyler Perry mentioned the fact that he made so many black billionaires, guess what?
But if you look at like starting with Bill Cosby, like, and then, Prince's death or whatever, Michael Jackson's death, whenever they talk about elevating and getting something, then all of a sudden things are happening. You either unalived.
It starts with a rumor to try to destroy you. Mm-hmm. And then boom, you out. But that's all I got, lovely people. Listen, if you get a letter and you get the call to do jury duty, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it.
They're
I
gonna have to
got
pay
called.
me
Did you ever
big
get
bucks.
called? Hmm?
No, I didn't get called, but they're gonna have to pay me big bucks for that.
No, it's your civic duty as a U.S. citizen.
I'm gonna say he my first cousin. I can't do it.
Well, and watch this. And then they ask them, their attorney, and the opposing attorney, do you see a problem with it? If they, with that, if they say no, guess what? Then you're
Just
still on
stuck,
jury.
huh? Yeah, but yeah, they're supposed to. Now they're saying the sentencing. They're supposed to next Tuesday, but they're trying to, expedite it. Well, heck, this is Thursday, Tuesday, okay. But then I guess October 3rd is coming into play too. And I tried to save the footage from NBC from yesterday.
Mhm.
And for some reason it won't let me save it. And even some footage from YouTube. Of course, I got to be premium in order to save it so we could present it. But it wouldn't let me do it. But yeah, so they're talking about October 3rd is his sentencing, and they're
Well,
supposed
that's
that's
pretty
the
good
date.
because that can
Yeah.
that can take up to 6 months.
Yeah, his attorneys are trying to see if they can expedite that though. So I
Well, they
guess that's
tried to
what
do that.
Tuesday is about.
They tried to do that particular day, but the prosecutor is like, no, and they want the max. So the max on this is
10 years per count.
10 years, so they want it consecutively, but there's no minimum on that. So the judge could just say, time served, because let's be realistic.
Well, they did say, I did hear him say 4 to 5 years. He'll only serve 4 to 5 years
And
if.
you don't have to do that because there's no minimum.
Okay.
So that's why I said the judge can say no time served. The 4 to 5 years, that's what they're trying to look at. Y'all kept this man. All right, let's say it was a guy named Michael Jackson in the neighborhood. If it was Michael Jackson, do you think they would allow him to post bail? I think they would have. Because it's just Michael Jackson. It ain't P. Diddy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then, okay, what do you want? Let's give him his bail, right? Or his sentence. Let's sentence him right now. I think they would have did that. But because he is who he is, I think that's why they're like, no, we just gonna hold him as long as we can. But back to what I was saying, as far as like the OJ Simpson gig, I really feel like he's gonna be okay. I don't know if he's guilty. The man is innocent until proven guilty on this stuff. Biggie being gone, Kid Cudi's car being blown up, his children that he adopted, their fathers are gone. Like all the people that started Bad Boy, they're gone except him.
Right.
You had who was in his camp. Heavy D was in his camp. He's gone. It's a whole lot of people that are just gone, and he's the one that's standing. So we don't know what happened. We don't know none of that. And I'm not saying that, I'm saying what I'm saying. So I feel like it's gonna be like the OJ, where I see the brothers on there talking about he did it. But he got caught. Remember, he went to jail. Still going to go back to jail. He went to jail for what? Stealing his own stuff.
His own stuff.
Who else was it? You got Craig Matt, Biggie. Now I got to go. Heavy D. The one guy that was he was right in the car with him the whole time. Yeah, it's all alleged. It's all Rob. It's a whole bunch of them that's just gone, and it's like, wait a second. What's really going on? I want to hear what Mace has to say. I need to read.
Yeah, let me tell you. You see where Little C's is coming out now, calling itself after 20-some years breaking silence. And it's funny that this is coming out the day after the verdict, where they're trying to say that Faith has something to do with Biggie's murder, and her and Puffy knew about it. And I was looking at that today, like, man, bye.
Right. Okay. It's all alleged.
All alleged. All alleged.
And they were saying, like, with Kim Porter being sick, she don't know what happened. And Kamara Lee felt some type of way, but they won't say what's going on. I remember watching Claudia, the one that Claudia Jordan. I remember her saying that something happened with their little crew, and one of the girls ended up, but that was with Jay-Z stuff. Then you had Andre Harrell. That's who I was trying to think.
Yeah.
I was like, what's his name?
Because Andre Harrell is the one that actually fired him when he was working at the other place, and that's what prompted him to start
his own business. But they were all still cool and linked. And yeah, I'll be sure. Remember all his organs? They didn't know what happened to his organs. Now I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say, and that's all I'm gonna say. And it's all alleged. Remember when Jamie Foxx just we don't know what happened with him. It seemed like him and Albie Short lightweight had the same gig going on. So I don't know.
They both had a stroke.
Child, them organs was melting. The organs. Albie Shore's organs were how does that happen? But I'm so grateful that he's there. Yes, Andre Harrell was the CEO of Uptown
Records. Yeah.
I just feel like, they tried to say that Diddy is going through his issues because of his dad. Okay, everybody got a past. Everybody got family history. You got the ancestors. And when are you going to say stop? Thank you, dear DC. That's what I said about like Jamie Foxx. He didn't say it. He didn't deny it, but we know something that happened. And I'm grateful that he's still here. I'm grateful that all of them are still here. Mace wasn't playing.
He was like, okay, bye.
And I'm gonna have to reach out. I need to talk to Mace. What about what's her name? Lori Ann, remember the choreographer? I want to talk to her, but I'll be able to talk to Mace. But I want to see about Lori Ann.
Oh, you know how to get a hold of me?
Wait a minute. And what's our guy with the umbrella? He ain't talking to nobody.
So Bentley, ain't heard a peep.
Now he's talking to NDA, but I'm like, I need to talk.
Bentley was all over the place. We ain't heard not a peep from Bentley. Everybody was waiting on Bentley to talk.
Bentley didn't even go on the courthouse grounds.
Wow.
If he would have just walked with the umbrella, that would have been it. That would have been it. Hey, listen, I want to show a hand. Show a hand for the people that will wear a shirt after the verdict that say, y'all probably won't say more oil, but a freak off is not a crime.
Right. Because it's not. That just shows that you're freaky. That's all.
You're just freaky.
You're just freaky.
All right, we got
what about
oh, okay. What did she say? He hasn't done anything wrong. Okay. Now the stuff that he did, he wasn't charged for, and I didn't understand why they kept worried about what he was doing in his bedroom. I felt like Foxworth Bentley. Thank you, Foxworth.
No, it's not Foxworth. It's Farnsworth Bentley.
Farnsworth, is that it? Okay.
Farnsworth.
Okay, I see them hands up. They go where a freak off is not a crime, man. Listen. What you gonna do?
It's not.
It's not.
No, it's not.
All right.
I mean, and if you're a willing participant, then don't cry about it later.
There you go. And if you were a rich dude, you a gold digger. Is that it?
I guess. And my thing is,
if you were a broke dude, you just like ran through.
Right. My thing is though, if Cassie's husband hadn't pushed her towards this lawsuit, we would know none of this. None of this would be brought to the forefront. Nothing would come out. Nothing.
Well, she didn't release the tape. Somebody else did.
But it was after she had sued him in a civil court.
Well, that's because they had that. Remember, everybody could get sued. They opened that up in New York, where the what was it? Oh, Jesus, help me! Y'all know I'm tired. Just look, that working is different. What is it when you got a certain amount of time to file a lawsuit? Oh, God.
Oh yeah, I can't think of it right now.
Help me, people, help me! I can't think right now. Got the fog working.
Yeah, listen, we got that midnight work. That's
it. And then mandated. You be like, what? Statute of limitations. Thank you.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes. So when you have that, it was like, no, we got people. We know these people. Thank you, Yolanda. You got that. And they opened it up, and boy, everybody was coming out like, oh yeah, let me tell you about this. Let me tell you that. They didn't even bother Smokey Robinson.
But again, if Cassie's husband hadn't
pimped
her into suing Diddy, we would know none of this. Statute of limitations or not, we would know none of it. And
the sad part is that he came on that social media and said he didn't do it, and then somebody was like, boop, drop, release. Check the tape out. Okay, let me see. She had her money and was done. Yeah, them people picked it up. Exactly. That's what did it. Yes, that's exactly
Right. But the thing is, again, if she had not civilly sued him, there wouldn't have been nothing to pick up or nothing. None of this would have been brought to the forefront. She started it listening to her husband. And of course, you're supposed to listen to your husband, but her husband pimped her.
Now, watch this. The one dude she was kicking it with, her husband ended up being what, her personal trainer that Diddy introduced her to. Kid Cudi, he had them do a duet. Diddy introduced her to. She was with him. So she was ran through too. Like, come on. So that's why I'm like, okay, this is what you like to do. You like sex. Ain't nothing wrong with it. But I'm going to tell you another thing. There is nothing wrong with her being who she is and her husband working for him. He done got fired. Okay, let's look at it. I got fired. You sleeping with him. You know you could sue him for this, and we could be rich and be together. That's a win.
And that's what that was. From
one pimp to another pimp.
That's exactly what that was right there. Because again, I'm gonna say it again for the people in the back that didn't hear me or understand. Had her husband not pimped her, now that we know that he got fired and all of that, had her husband not pimped her into civilly suing Diddy, we would know none of this. There would be nothing for the state to pick up because none of this would have come to the forefront.
Hey, they made it come up, and that's why she sued.
They did.
I want to be clear for people who are just logging on. She sued his company, and they have that insurance and that money over there, so it didn't come out of his pocket, so to speak. People were wondering. They was like, look at her husband sitting there looking wild. It's a different thing. I ain't saying all white dudes, but I know white dudes will be like, well, do what you got to do to pay the bills if they can't pay the bills. They don't care about who they want to sleep with. That's a lot of them. I know that on this side of the game, they be like, oh, no, if you sleep with this cat, they're totally done. I don't know no brothers. Brothers, y'all all right?
Yeah,
Okay, watch this though. Can I be transparent?
Go ahead.
I might tell my husband to go sleep with somebody for a few million. I'm like, just go ahead. Look at it. 10, 30 million?
No, because then it's not gonna stop at that. Okay, yeah. It's not gonna stop at that one time. And see, that's when I'm gonna have to bring Benita out. And don't nobody want to meet Benita.
But see, now watch this. But men, I don't know men that allow their women to. But listen to this. If you married to this guy, if y'all ain't clicking like y'all was clicking or whatever, it's like, okay, boom. And they always say, oh, marriage is a business. Now, I ain't talking nobody into this, but I'm just going to say what I'm going to say. So you be like, yeah, go ahead and sleep with her. She going to give you how much? Boom. Okay. And I guess that would make me a pimp. Nah. But if it don't work out and he keep going back, now I got to take it. Give me your money. Bam. Because you done cheated on me. You gave me a pass. What is this? So now look at it. Okay. So if you don't know about him cheating on you, it's cool for free. But if you know about him cheating on you for 10 million, you ain't with it.
It ain't cool either way. Because like I said, if I give you permission one time to get that 10 million, who's to say it's gonna stop after that? It ain't gonna stop. And then that's when you gonna be introduced to Benita. And I'm telling y'all don't want to be introduced to Benita.
Okay, we don't want to meet Benita. Okay, we don't want to meet Benita. Benita might be Sarah and Angela. You remember them?
Exactly.
But
y'all don't want to meet Benita.
That's what happens with the threesomes.
And I don't sign up for that. I'm not doing no poly. I'm not fulfilling your FFM and none of that. I'm stingy when it comes to mine.
I heard that. I ain't mad at you. If I like you, no, that's gonna be a no for me. Sir.
That's it.
With Randy Jackson, that's gonna be a no for me, dog.
Exactly, that's a no for me, dog. And we ain't doing none of that. Not no.
All right, y'all, take it easy. Have a good day. Enjoy your dinner. Finish your dinner. Keep talking, because we get ready to go. If you're sitting at the dinner table, follow up. Let your girl know what's going on. Let me know what y'all got going on at y'all. Look,
and we will see y'all Saturday.
Definitely find you, embrace you. Most importantly, always love you. And don't forget to smile. All right. Peace.